Please welcome Nightbirde. Hey, you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, yes, you're here at iHollywood TV. It's great to have you here.
You know what? This is going to be a great talk, and I'm just so excited to share everything with you.
Girl, me too. I must say, congratulations to you. Simon Cowell pushed that buzzer. The gold confetti flew out of the cannon from the sky or wherever it came.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
like I told Nightbirde, she is gonna win. I full wholeheartedly believe it. She's gonna win this thing. I'm rooting for you all the way. So congratulations to you. How has the reaction been? You just been getting outpour of love and support from people across the nation, and you're like still trending, I believe, on YouTube with your audition tape. What?
I could never have imagined this. I could have never made it up. I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. Um, you know what? It would have been enough for me just to have that moment with the confetti and just sang my song and had this beautiful confetti moment. That would have been more than enough. And it's just continued to go on and on all over the world.
Yeah, it's just incredible, and just uh, walking into AGT, you probably didn't know that all this, love and support was going to happen. But how long have you been actually performing and singing and kind of traveling around and doing stuff like that?
I've been singing my whole life. I started calling myself a singer when I was maybe 20. So it's been about 10 years since I've been writing my own songs and playing out. But much of that time has been kind of stolen from me due to all the bad stuff I've been walking through. Yeah.
First off, I just want to know, how are you feeling? With the breast cancer that you have. Like, how are you doing at this moment?
Oh, right now I'm doing great. All signs are pointing to the fact that I will be cancer free sometime very, very soon.
Oh my
Um, so
gosh.
we're just kind of waiting it out. We did some final last few treatments. And
Hmm.
now we're going to wait a few months before we go in and check the whole body to see how everything's set in.
Yeah.
So, everybody out there who prays, pray for me and pray that we get the news that we're hoping for.
Well, I'm going to be praying for you. I believe in the power of prayer. So everyone, send a little prayer tonight, Burr, and
Hmm.
let's get her, on her way to well, which I think you
Hmm.
are, which is really
Yeah.
great. God's great. I mean, I tell you, He is the one that will change people's lives for the good.
Yeah.
If you have God in your life, you are good to go. And if
Hmm.
other people, have a different type of spiritual, that's good and okay too. But yes, so. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we're going to talk about AGT. During your audition of AGT, you were really ill with your battle of breast cancer. Kind of take us
Hmm.
back to the audition, like when you were walking on stage. What were you thinking in the moment? Like, how were you feeling during that audition tape to where you're at right now, which you're doing pretty good, like you just said.
I'm doing much better now. At the time when I went to do the audition, I, still had tumors more than what I've got now. I'm hoping there's barely anything left at this point, but I had tumors in my lungs that were preventing me from even getting a full deep breath. So I was real nervous about getting up there and just, I knew I wasn't at my best. I was really, really thin. I'm naturally
Mhm.
really thin anyway, but at the time I was about 85 pounds.
Wow.
And I hit it really well with these like baggy pants and tried to make it, a vibe. But like the truth was I was real thin.
Mhm.
Um, and I was standing in the back just getting a pep talk from, the other contestants standing back there just telling me that, I can do it
Mhm.
and just to be in the moment. And when I got up there, that was the only plan I had. I kind of just let it all go and just thought, you know what? The people's response to me is not my responsibility. It's not my job. I'm
Mhm.
going to do what I can do. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my song. I'm going to be a gift the best way that I know how to. And the response is not in my hands, and I'm not going to try to control it. And that's why I was able to get out of my head. Because if I had made it about trying to be impressive, I probably would have been very nervous and really tight.
Yeah. Well, it was a great audition. I think it's one of the best out of this season, probably out of many seasons that I've seen on AGT. Like I was telling Nightbird before we hopped on here, we just have not heard any really touching, moving stories like this in a
Mhm.
very long time. To see on television. We just, like I was telling her, we hear about shootings and just like bad news, and I think this is was something that America was just ready to see, something good,
Mhm.
something of a woman, even though she has cancer, and cancer can knock people down, but this is a woman that has faith and, is just going strong and, knows and just prays that everything's going to be okay. And I think that's,
Mhm.
I mean, you're such an inspiration to so many. And I think that's why so many have fallen in love with you, is because our world, it is lost. We need faith, we need hope. How do you keep the faith, my friend, and keep a positive outlook on life, knowing you are dealing with something, that so many of us can't even really imagine? We can't even put ourselves in, your shoes of what you have
Mhm.
went through in your life.
Yeah. Well, I've especially this past year going through so much. You know what? And like I'm not the only one that went through a hard time this year. Like the world has been on fire. Everybody has been screaming. It's been so hard for people to know what the truth is. It's just it's been chaos in the world, and that's all we hear day to day. And for me, on top of that, I was going through a divorce, and I was
Mhm.
given 6 months to live, and I was in a lot of pain. And as things got worse and worse and worse and worse for me, I just started to realize I just felt like it was infinite. Like the capacity for pain and loss and agony, I was like, it's infinite and it's never ending. And then something snapped in my brain and I thought, okay, so if if the human capacity for heartbreak is so infinite in this one way, then like can't it also be infinite for joy? Like it doesn't it also move infinitely in the opposite direction? And so I just reached really deep and tried to believe and
Mhm.
tried to remember that as deep as the pain goes, the joy can and the hope can go that deep too. And it's harder to pull yourself up because hope is climbing up, and that's always going to hurt. Um,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what I chose to do, and I wasn't always sure that it would pay off, to be honest.
Mhm. Well, you are just such a bright light. You're shining so bright. You found your light, from the darkness, like you just said.
Mhm.
You went through a divorce, and you on top of that, you got breast cancer. But you're really making the best out of everything that's went on in your life. So now let's talk about your single that is so inspiring. I love this.
Mhm.
It's actually on my Spotify playlist right now. It's on repeat, by the way. I was listening to it before we
Oh,
were,
thank
I'm like,
you.
yes. I'm like, Nightbird's coming on the show. Let's play the song, and you have a couple other songs, that are actually
Mhm.
out on iTunes. So everyone can, we'll definitely direct our audience to that. But your single, It's Okay, is a song that you wrote from getting sick and fighting for your life. What made you want to introduce this song, perform this one for your AGT audition?
This that song, It's Okay. It's the song that I needed to get myself through. I
Mhm.
don't know how I would have made it through without that song.
Wow.
And I do write songs for other people, and usually I don't listen to my own music. Most artists will say the same. But that song, It's Okay, I would listen to my own voice, singing it to my own soul. It is okay. It is okay to be lost. And and I say this a lot, but it's that brave part of me speaking to the scared part of me and speaking to my own heart and saying, get up, get up. It is okay. It's okay. And I wanted to share that with the world. Like you said, everybody is so lost right now. And if my story can help people feel a little bit more
Mhm.
hope about the state of the world, then what an honor that is.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you've done your job. If you've helped inspired people,
Mhm.
and they're listening to your music, which everyone is, by the way. I mean, like she's trending on the iTunes charts and just everywhere on YouTube. How would you now? Speaking about it's okay. How would you describe it's okay to not be okay?
Mm. Well, somehow we all feel this pressure to not let people see the broken parts of us. We some It's a lie, and we all think that we have to present ourselves all together, all in one piece, with all the questions answered. We know everything that we believe and why. We know it, and
Mhm.
nobody's like that. Nobody's like that. We're all. I don't know a single person that doesn't have broken pieces. Um, and and I felt like such a failure this last year because
Oh,
I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand what I did wrong to make this happen. I didn't understand if it would get better or why, or if I was doing the right things. Um, and I felt like I should have had it more together.
mm.
And
Oh,
so many people feel like they should have had it more together. And no, 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 no. You do not have to have it more together. And the more honest you are about the real person that you are and all the pieces that you are, the more loved you'll actually be, because people are loving you for you and all your pieces.
yeah.
And that's what it's been to show up like this. And like, this is a story I'm still in. I'm still walking in this story.
Mm.
And I'm not in one piece by any means. But isn't it amazing that in in my all my broken pieces, I can still like stand here and tell people like it's okay. Like, you don't have to be
That's
perfect
incredible.
before you start changing the world.
I want to ask you, when did you know something wasn't right and you made that step forward to make that doctor's visit, Nightbird?
This happened way back in 2017, and
Oh,
I
wow.
felt a lump. And I am not a worrier at all. So
Mhm.
I was like, it's probably nothing. It's probably no big deal, and went on with my life. Um, and it was probably a whole year later when I finally went in to get it checked with a biopsy, and that's when it came back as cancer.
Mm, mm. Now, after your diagnosis, your doctor even told you that you needed to speak about, or needed to speak to a death counselor. What? What type of doctor was this? Not, nuh-uh, no.
Right. Uh-huh. Honey, girl, no, thank you. I ain't talking to no death counselor. What's wrong with you?
What? Okay. Oh.
Um, yeah, so my first diagnosis was pretty mild, honestly. So that happened in 2017. Second diagnosis happened in 2020. New Year's Eve, I was sick lots of different ways. Didn't know what was going on. Finally went to a doctor who said it was cancer and I had 3 to 6 months to live, 2% chance of survival. And that's when she said, I think you need to meet with a death counselor here at the hospital and
Wow.
just process emotionally everything that's happening and going to happen.
Wow, that's so crazy for someone to say that to
Mhm.
somebody, when they really, I guess, don't fully know. And now look at you. Now what can that doctor say? Look at her now. She's going, she's winning, she's doing it all. Oh, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just so happy and so proud of you. But, would you say that, your cancer diagnosis made you a more stronger person than what you were?
That's a good question. I don't know if it made me stronger or if it just revealed the strength that I already had.
Yeah.
Um, I think everybody has this like deep immovability and strength in them.
Mhm.
And when somebody has to suffer and overcome hardship, all it does is remove the veil and show what that person already was.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's more what it is.
What made you fall in love with music and want to perform on stage? Because you've been doing this, I think, a pretty decent amount of your life.
Yeah, I think music became really important to me because it was the only way that I knew how to be honest in a world that's not always very honest.
Mhm.
Um, and it was the only way I knew how to tell my story and to process things. And it's just my way of making sense of the world. And
Yeah.
I will always write music even if no one's hearing it, because I don't know how not to.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe
Yeah.
nobody will not hear it because look at you. You have such a beautiful voice. You are so talented. You are going so far. And like I said, I truly believe she will win AGT. Or if not, I believe you will get a record deal and somebody will sign you and you will create your, album and you
Mhm.
will go on to tour and to do everything that you want to do in your career because I
Uh-huh.
just see it happening for you. And if not, I'm going to try to make it happen. I don't know how I'm going to try to make it happen, Nightmare, but we will do a little tour or
Well,
do
says
something.
how up in Georgia.
Yeah, we'll start something. We'll go to the UGA, the University of Georgia, and have you start singing there, and then we'll move you on. We'll do something. So, you know, out of all the outpour of love and the messages, that I'm sure you've been receiving from so many people, some from fans across the nation, which ones have really stood out to you, have impacted or touched you the most in some sort of way?
my favorite kind of reactions that I get are from people that are it's from people who are in their own pain in a completely different scenario.
Hmm.
I wrote this blog called God is on the Bathroom Floor, and it's about how if you feel like you can't see God, you just need to look lower because He is in the lowest of places.
Hmm.
And I've had so many responses to the song and also to that blog. It's at nightbirde.co if you want to read it. But um, from people that can be from, Australia, Africa, the Philippines, who experience the same thing, that same lostness, that same pain, and to say, like, you just put words to everything I've been feeling, and now I'm not so alone in the world.
Mm.
That means everything to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And we need more faith and love and hope. And we need to, see a lot more of that incorporated into television, just in our daily lives.
Mm,
I'm a strong believer of Jesus Christ and God and, faith. I'm a very, spiritual person as well.
mhm,
But, God can change it all. He can help you through the thick and the
mhm,
thin. And it's just so great to hear you speak about that because in this world of entertainment we don't hear a lot of people talk about their religious beliefs or and I think it's very important to just be yourself and to just to have a conversation about things like that.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know when stuff got off track, but it's almost like there's this whole idea of like tolerance and acceptance and all of this, but for some reason people are afraid that they're not going to be tolerated or accepted if they're honest about what they believe. And
Isn't that
there's
crazy?
and there's so many of us out there that do believe in Jesus and do have faith and deep
Hmm.
deep spirituality and connection with God. And it's okay if not everybody believes that way. But
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be the rude person at somebody's dinner party ruining the whole vibe. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yeah.
push what I believe in other people's face.
Right.
However, it's so important and it's so beautiful and it's worth sharing. And
Hmm.
um, I hope that more people feel the freedom to talk about it.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel good too, and that good uplifting faithful type music. I love listening to that in the car. I can listen to
Mhm.
that all the time.
Yeah,
Especially on
put
a
on a
bad
little
day.
Lauren Daigle and let me just get down with the Lord.
Yes.
Uh
Oh my
huh.
goodness. Now, Nightbird, I want to ask you, will you ever write like, faith-based type music in your career? Because you write a lot of pop, rock,
Yeah.
I mean, I love your genre. I love your vibe. I love your music.
I'm so open to it. I grew up singing in church. I love
Oh,
church music, and there's so much good church music out there right
yeah.
now. To be honest,
Hmm.
never been more good Jesus music out there. To be
Good pop
honest.
church music too,
Uh
like.
huh. Yeah. Yeah. And so hopefully the door opens up for me to do some collabs in that way. I would love it.
Heck yes.
Um,
Okay.
Yes. I think pop will always be my number one heart and
Yeah.
soul because pop connects with everybody.
Yeah.
It's the language of the people, and that's
Hmm.
the language I want to speak.
Nightbird, over the many years of AGT auditions, how do you hope others will remember you and your audition tape?
Oh, that's such a good question. Um, you know what? People, when they watch it, they kind of say, I don't know what came over me when I
Hmm.
watched it, but I felt it. What they say is, I didn't know I was broken until I heard you sing and it healed me.
Hmm.
And I hope that as this audition continues to live on the internet, until, the end of time or whatever, that it will just continue to be a song and a story of triumph and healing. And and I love it because people didn't walk away from seeing my audition and just say, wow, she's amazing or a good singer or good song or beautiful or whatever. It
Hmm.
wasn't about me, but it was about everybody seeing something in themselves that they
Hmm.
really want to see, and getting a sense of power over their circumstance.
Yeah.
And I hope it's always like that.
What are some of the things that we might not know about Nightbirde that you like to do in your free time when you're not singing or performing on stage? What are some of those things that maybe, couple that you like to share with us today?
Hmm, that's a good question. Okay, well, let me see. I'm just a ridiculous person. I just want to do crazy stuff. I I I love to have fun. I'm impossible to embarrass. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
It is next to impossible to embarrass me. You could drop my pants in the middle of the freezer section at Walmart and I would just stand there and let y'all be embarrassed. I love being goofy and cutting up, and I don't take myself too seriously. I think
Me either.
that's probably the part of me that people don't really see because everything I talk about is usually so serious.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I just like to be goofy, and you got to laugh
Oh,
at yourself. You know what? I have spent a lot of time developing myself as an artist. So it's cool that I don't have to develop myself as an artist in the spotlight when everybody's watching and everybody has opinions.
yeah.
It's been you know, when you're an artist and you're hoping to get your career off the ground, then you feel like you're
Mhm.
cursed when nobody's paying attention to you. But really, all that time kind of hidden when nobody was watching me was such a gift because now I figured out my sound. I really like this modern, kind of mainstream 80s flavored dancey pop thing that no one else is really doing. And I'm cool with that. I found the way that I sing. I used to try to sing like other people and felt like I just was never
Mhm.
measuring up. And then I just started singing how I sing. And
Yeah.
well, will you look at that? It's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I love being myself. Nobody else can do that better than me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, if you win AGT, as I've been saying throughout this entire interview,
Keep
spoiler
saying
alert to the AGT people. No, I know, but
it.
really, I hope so. Come on now.
Mhm.
What will you do with the money as far as next steps in your music career? Because I think you win like $1 million. Is that right? Is it a million or
Yes.
10 million?
You win $1 million. It can be 10 million. We can write some. Everybody write a check.
Yes,
Uh,
send it to Nightbirde.
pull together. My big dream is to put out, this amazing, uplifting, honest dance pop record, get on a huge tour, like put me in a stadium with Coldplay, send me to Colombia and Brazil,
Girl,
and
yeah.
send me to Wembley Stadium, send me everywhere, and I'm on it. I'm on it. Get me some little chunky boots and an oversized tee, and then put me on like a like a neon blazer, shoot
Oh,
off shoot off some,
yeah.
pyro. Let me out of the gate. I'm ready to roll.
Yes.
I I'm so ready.
I can tell, and I know you're ready to roll. And now let's talk. Speaking about fashion and all that good stuff, what is the type? What is some wardrobe or type of clothing you would like to consider? Like maybe for Nightbirde to perform on stage, and because you really do have a pretty unique style going on, I must say.
Well, thank you. I love clothes and I love thinking of my own ideas for outfits and stuff.
Hmm.
So I already have this is so funny. You're getting an insight into my little like dreamer mentality
Yeah.
because I have Pinterest boards for all kinds of different like stage setup ideas and what I want
Ooh,
my vibe to be on stage for live and what I want my vibe to be for festivals when I play festivals, what I want my vibe to
that's
be
so
when I play
smart.
arenas. So I just have it all together. But I really love Zoe Kravitz. I think she has like just
Oh yes.
the coolest, just badass vibe. She's so cool. I
Hmm.
love Miley too. Miley has this rugged thing about her.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but then I think there's like a little bit of like an elegance about me too that I like to tie in.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Audrey Hepburn thing, like a timeless thing
Yeah.
about
Oh, I
it.
can see it.
I know that stuff doesn't exactly make sense together, but that's all stuff that I love.
So lastly, I want to ask you, what are some of your goals that you want to achieve in your lifetime? Like, what are some things that I mean, of course, you achieved this golden buzzer, you've been seen by millions now, but what are some of the things that you still have written on your list? It doesn't even have to be music wise, it can just be, in your life. Like, what are some of the things
Mm.
that you want to do that's like up there on a bucket list for you?
I definitely want to write a book that details all of it. There's so much. When I do these interviews, like we have, 20, 30 minutes, and then we got to even cut it from there. But there's so much more, like, just beautiful parts of my story that are so meaningful and stuff that you almost wouldn't believe.
Hmm.
And I'm so excited to get that all in one place one day. Um, I want to travel the world even more than I have already, and um, just, I don't know, taste life for all that it is. Like, I'm not planning. I'm not going to get caught up in this, like, Hollywood room room life and lose out on,
You
like,
know.
what life actually is. Like,
Hmm.
because when I've been on my deathbed 3 times now, and when you're
Mm.
on your deathbed, you're not thinking about, I want to get the golden buzzer. You're not thinking about, I wish I was on an arena stage. You're thinking about, I want to be with people that I love. I want to laugh. I want
Yeah,
to cook together. I want to sit around a fire and drink wine and tell stories. Like,
absolutely.
that's what you're thinking about when you're on your deathbed. And that's what life is for me. That's what makes life full. And all this
Mm.
celebrity stuff, don't get me wrong, I eat it up, love it, am having the time of my life, but it's all, that's extra. That's an extra gift. That's not the
Hmm.
substance of life.
Amen to that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Never change. Oh my gosh, you are just. I love how you are. I just love the person you've become, and I think that's why so many people have fallen in love with you is because we don't see such grounded, humble people like yourself today. We see people spiral out of control or go cuckoo bonkers, and we're like, "What's wrong with them?" And
Don't
you're
speak too
just
soon now, okay? It's only been a couple weeks.
because we were talking, beforehand that Nightbirde has been like doing tons of press, tons of interviews. It's just been so crazy for you. Thankfully, it's, I think a little, slow down a little bit as far as like the
Yeah,
press. But I'm
a
sure
little bit.
everyone's reaching out to you, wanting to, get in touch with you. It's about like, Cuomo guy. Right from
Uh-huh.
CNN. I thought that was like the
Uh-huh.
coolest thing. I don't know if you want to share that with us, but yeah, I was like, what? So everyone's just getting in touch.
Yeah.
Everyone wants Nightbirde in their life. So.
That's you know what? That's the truth. I did have someone reach out from Chris Cuomo show, and it's not officially on the books yet, but that one felt like, ooh, this is real time. This is
Yeah.
really happening. Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because I was sharing off air how some people are starting to mail me, like, gifts and letters and things like that.
Mhm.
And somebody sent me this AirPod case. I was like, honey,
Like, what?
I only been famous for a week and a half. I ain't got no AirPods. It was like, "Oh, I'm from the country, okay? I'm from a small town. We don't got AirPods." Anyway,
It was so fun because Nightbirde was telling me, I was like, what can I do if I come to Ohio? Because she's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Georgia. If I come to Ohio, and she's like, you can, take some straw and put it in your mouth. I was like, okay, where's my
go on a
copper
long
at?
walk, make a fire.
Oh my gosh, I have to meet you in person someday. You're like, I would love to hang out with you. Like, oh my
I
gosh,
would
you're like,
too.
yes, like we can hang out, just have a nice lunch together. Jared can come along.
Oh,
Oh,
I would
it'd
love
be
that.
fun. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I'll fly to Ohio to see you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all I gotta do
All
is ring up
right.
the PR. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been such an amazing conversation. I hope this has been a joy for everyone to watch and to learn more about your life, and
Mm.
hopefully it's empowered other women, maybe that have went through some of the same things that Nightbirde has gone through. But you are such a light, and you're just so gifted and so talented, and just so much greatness has came into your life, and I'm just beyond thrilled and happy for you, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I want to ask you, when does the live show start for AGT, or can you say that, or is that kind of like a confidential thing at the moment, or?
I don't have my date yet,
Okay.
but the first live show will happen on August 10th.
Okay.
August 10th, 17th, and 24th are that first, semifinals um, rounds. So I'll be on for one of those. Yeah,
Okay, so everyone definitely mark that on your calendars. We're going to have all that information on our website, ihollywood.tv, so you don't miss out. We're going to be Team Nightbirde over here at iHollywood
that's
TV.
right.
Okay, that's right. We're going to be, we might, it would be great to put something up here on our set. I don't know if Nightbirde, if we can get anything sent, but we'll get like a little Team Nightbirde banner that we'll put up
Maybe
here.
I need to make some flat. You know what? I need to get those up. I do have some really cool "It's Okay" tie-dye hoodies that y'all can buy for your watch party.
Yes.
Um, and I've got, a Nightbird logo quote, but I need to
Hmm.
get a banner with there's a Nightbird logo with an eye that has a moon in it, and it's really
Uh,
cool. I'll get a banner
yes,
made
get
so
something,
people
send
can
it
buy
to
those.
us. We'll
Yeah.
put it up, during the duration of the season because we're gonna be Team Nightbirde. That's right.
All
So,
right. Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah. So yes, absolutely. I really mean it. So, we will put something up here in the studio for you. But thank you so much again for the lovely conversation and just you are just such an inspiration. I just adore you and I love you.
Oh, it's been amazing to talk to you. I really hope we get to talk again, honestly.
Yes, me too. You take care and have a great rest of your week, my friend.
I will. You too.